There are 5 basic types of standing desk converter models. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the ZipLifts and give you our recommendation for the best product in this category. The first ZipLift standing desk converter was the VariDesk. Its early success helped the average consumer gain awareness of sitting disease and this kind of standing desk solution. But as the VariDesk grew in popularity, competitors quickly developed their own versions of its basic Z-shaped design. Before long, as new products flooded into the market, another category of standing desk converters was born, the ZipLifts. Today, it's safe to say, ZipLifts make up some of the most stable, easy-to-use, and low-cost converters you can buy. Let's take a look at the features of the 3 most popular ZipLifts: the VariDesk Pro Plus 36, the Ergotron Workfit T, and the iMover ZipLift. We'll see just how far these products have evolved over time. The VariDesk Pro Plus 36. VariDesk is proud of its patented spring-aided lift mechanism and continues to create new variants off the same basic design. The VariDesk Pro Plus 36 is by far and away their top seller. The VariDesk Pro Plus 36 gets its name from the 36-inch width of its keyboard tray. It also comes in a narrower 30-inch version and a wider 48-inch version. The width of its keyboard tray allows plenty of space for typing and moving your mouse. But notice the contoured center of the Pro Plus. While it looks cool, its placement has unintended ergonomic consequence. It puts you in the position of having to reach back and over for your mouse every time you need to use it. Like all ZipLifts, the Pro Plus requires you to add a monitor arm to get your monitor to the right height. The VariDesk was not originally designed with monitor arms in mind, and a bar underneath the back edge of the surface prevents standard monitor arms from attaching. VariDesk recently introduced their own monitor arm with a smaller clamp to solve that problem, but we worry about its holding strength. The VariDesk Pro Plus 36 lift range is shorter than the other 2 units, with the top surface able to reach 17.5 inches at maximum extension, leaving the keyboard platform only 14 inches higher than the desk surface. Because of its older spring lift mechanism design, the VariDesk only has 11 stops along the way from sitting position to maximum standing height, meaning the stops are 1.25 inches apart, and so there are fewer options for finding your perfect ergonomic height. Its lift mechanism is designed to arc out towards the user, causing you to step back when standing. This can make it difficult to get enough leverage to lift. Its handles are a foot from the edge of the keyboard tray, meaning you have to bend over significantly to reach them, and the temptation is to hunch over and use your back once you do. One of the most common complaints about the VariDesk lift mechanism is that it makes a loud noise every time you reset its height. That can be very annoying to your office mates. And if you don't push the surface down before you engage the levers, it can make this loud noise too. The Pro Plus's stability is reasonable at lower heights, but it shows a real tendency to shake and the potential for easy tipping over when it's raised higher. This is due to simple lever physics. Adding more weight to the back of the work surface, for instance monitor arms, helps alleviate this effect somewhat at lower heights, but not at maximum height extension. A couple more items to mention. You'll see the Pro Plus's keyboard tray tends to droop straight out of the box. Over time, the metal may bend further. We also found a substance that appears like graphite lubricant coming from the lift mechanism. So, all in all, some significant design flaws in the VariDesk that have been left unaddressed for several years. The Pro Plus 36 sells for $395. For more details, take a look at our in-depth reviews of each of the VariDesk models. Ergotron Workfit T. Both the Workfit T and the ZipLift take a cue from the VariDesk and feature a sunk-in keyboard tray to keep your arms at a lower, more ergonomic position while you type. The Workfit T's tray measures 25 inches wide and 9.5 inches deep, the smallest of the 3 models here. Ergonomically, the small size can be an advantage. It forces you to keep your arms in while you type and mouse. That means you cut back on unneeded, potentially harmful arm movement during the day. If you're using a small keyboard like the Max or the Microsoft Sculpt, there's no issue with the smaller keyboard tray size. But some users have complained that with a standard size keyboard tray, the Workfit T didn't provide enough room to move the mouse without hitting the edges. Ergotron has responded by introducing the Workfit TL. It's a larger version of the Workfit T with a keyboard tray that is 2 3/4 inch wider and 1 3/4 inch deeper for about $90 more. All ZipLift converters have a monitor platform about 4 to 6 inches higher than the keyboard platform. In this case, they are 4 1/4 inches apart. This height difference helps keep your monitors boosted to a proper height while sitting. But when standing, we need even more of a height difference between the keyboard and the monitor. This is where the ability to add a monitor arm becomes crucial for good ergonomics. Fortunately, Ergotron is already one of the biggest manufacturers of monitor arms in the world. And for the Workfit T, they created a mount at the back of the unit for attaching a capable, low-cost arm for an extra $99 or $149 for the dual monitor option. Unfortunately, they made the monitor mount a little too short for tall users when standing. If you're over about 5 feet 10, you'll also need the Ergotron's tall user kit in addition to the mount. It raises your monitors up an extra 5 inches so you can keep them at eye level as you work. The Workfit T's lift mechanism is more capable and stable than the VariDesk's. The work surface raises 19.5 inches above your desk, 2 inches higher than the VariDesk, and it can stop at 20 different positions in its range, almost twice as many, at every 3/4 of an inch. This gives you significantly more adjustability than the VariDesk's 1 1/4 inch gaps. But the key mechanical difference in comparing the Workfit T's mechanism to the VariDesk's is that it moves straight up and down as opposed to arcing forward towards the user as the other units do. This is an advantage if you have very limited room behind your desk, and it ensures solid stability at the top height extension. It also helps make the Workfit T the easiest of the 3 models to lift. Instead of having to lift your work surface leaning over from an angle, you can easily reach the handles. They're only 2 inches from the edge of the keyboard tray, and you can lift straight up, gaining more leverage. And the lift process is smooth and quiet, as long as you remember to engage the levers completely. If not, the unit is prone to making a grinding noise as it lowers and a loud click when it locks in place. This is a slight improvement over the VariDesk's design, but the noise is still inherent to the spring-aided mechanism. The Workfit T sells for $436, not including the monitor arm, just slightly more than the VariDesk Pro Plus 36. It retains its stability throughout its height range, with only the slightest tendency to wobble at the highest level. And most users will find themselves standing somewhere in the middle of its range. iMover ZipLift. The ZipLift's keyboard tray adds an extra 2 inches of width over the Workfit T for a little more space to maneuver your mouse. It's the only ZLift model with an ergonomic keyboard tray built in that can be tilted plus or minus 10 degrees. So, in addition to keeping your arms lower, it keeps your wrists at a more neutral angle while you type, meaning less wrist strain and more neutral typing position overall. Its back edge is unobstructed and therefore accommodates any conventional edge-clamped monitor arm. Unlike the other 2 units we've reviewed here, there's also a grommet hole for using a through mount. The ZipLift's air cylinder-aided lift mechanism does not have a fixed number of height settings, but rather allows an infinite number of stops across the entire height range. The brakes engage wherever you let go of the levers, giving you more precision than any of the other models in your setting height. And it avoids any clicking into place or grinding noise during the lift. Its air cylinder pistons, as opposed to spring-aided lifts, ensure smooth, silent operation. The ZipLift has the top-reaching height range of the group, bringing the monitor platform up to a height of 20.5 inches off your desk, and works well for users up to 6 foot 5 inches, staying remarkably stable throughout its entire height range. Its lift also arcs out towards you like the VariDesk, but to a lesser extent. Its handles are 4 inches closer to the edge of the keyboard tray, only 8 inches from the edge, making them much easier to reach. And since you don't have to lean over as far, you can maintain better leverage as you lift. At a lean 40 pounds, the ZipLift is the lightest of the 3 units and requires only 1 person to set it up. It sells for $349, and it's the least expensive, most ergonomically adjustable, and quietest of the products we've reviewed here. From the Pro Plus 36 to the Workfit T to the ZipLift, ZLift standing desk converters have evolved over the last several years, incorporating new designs and features to help you stand at work. In an ever-competitive landscape, older versions of ZLifts, like the VariDesk, are under increasing pressure from challengers. The Workfit T and the ZipLift each offered better stability, quality, and ergonomic features for the money. The Workfit T's biggest innovation was creating solid stability and more height adjustment stops than the VariDesk. Our top choice, the ZipLift, took it a step further, adding an ergonomically adjustable keyboard tray, easy monitor arm mounting, and a silent air cylinder piston lift mechanism, all at a lower price.